Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone. In this video, I will be explaining you fetal circulation. The knowledge of normal route of fetal circulation in mom uterus is essential to understand the circulation change that occur in the newborn after delivery. So whenever you understand the circulation before delivery, it is easy for you to understand the circulation after delivery. Also, I will be concerned on adaptation that can adjust to fetus life within uterus of mom. So let us know what is this adaptation. I will start firstly from placenta. A placenta, which is organ, connects the fetus need with mother. What is the fetus need? Oxygen and nutrients. Blood from mother passes through placenta, filter oxygen and nutrients to the fetus via umbilical cord. Placenta also filter out carbon dioxide and wastes that are produced from fetus blood. The oxygenated blood from placenta enter to the fetus through umbilical vein, which is the first adaptation. Umbilical vein, you can see it here in the umbilical cord as smile face mouth. Umbilical vein going to carrying oxygenated blood back toward liver area. And I put it here in red box because the blood going through umbilical vein is oxygenated blood. Once the blood reach kind of branch point, that is can either going to right or left. If it is going here, it will enter the liver. The oxygenated blood in the umbilical vein can bypass the liver and going to join inferior vena cava through shunt. This shunt known as ductus venosus, and this is the second adaptation what I was talking about it. In this point here, the oxygenated blood coming from umbilical vein meeting deoxygenated blood in the inferior vena cava, and I make it here as dark blue. Inferior vena cava, this is the abbreviation. Inferior vena cava, it is large vein, pick up the blood from right and left leg over here to the right atrium. In the meeting point here, oxygenated and deoxygenated will mixing together, and I make it here as light purple color because the oxygenated blood not look like before. It is mixing with deoxygenated blood and going to right atrium. In the same time, blood coming from superior vena cava enter the right atrium. Blood coming from superior vena cava, it is deoxygenated blood. Superior vena cava, and this is the abbreviation. Superior vena cava, it is large vein, pick up the blood from head and the upper arm to the right atrium. When the blood from superior vena cava enter right atrium, the blood mixing second time with light purple, so I make it here dark purple because the blood mixing second time. The blood in the right atrium here, it has two ways. The first way, blood in the right atrium go down simply to right ventricle and squeeze pump to main pulmonary artery. Main pulmonary artery here, over here, it has two branches. If the blood going here, it will go to left lung, and if going here, it will go to right lung. Only 5 to 10% of blood coming from pulmonary artery enter to the lung. Why? Why only 5 to 10%? Because the lung of the fetus inside uterus full of fluid. The alveoli, the sac of the alveoli inside lung also full of fluid. The vessels in the lung here vasoconstricted. Why it is vasoconstriction? Because decreasing of oxygen in the lung make hypoxic pulmonary vasoconstriction. The vasoconstriction in the lung make high resistance in the vessels. This is reflect on the lung, make also the lung high resistant. The high resistant in the lung reflect on the pulmonary artery, make high pressure in the pulmonary artery because pulmonary artery blood here fight to enter lung, but only 5 to 10% enter to the lung. The raising of the pressure in the pulmonary artery affect also backward to right ventricle. So it is raising the pressure in the right ventricle. Affect also backward to the right atrium. So raising pressure in the right atrium. That lead raise pressure in the right side of the heart because the pressure in the pulmonary artery was high. Blood usually goes from high pressure place to place where there's low pressure. In this case, the blood in the right atrium, which is high pressure place, is going to left atrium, which is lower pressure place, through foramen ovale. Foramen ovale, it is a small hole located in the septum, which is the wall between two atriums of the heart. Foramen ovale, it is the third adaptation that I was talking about, and I put it here in the purple box because the blood going through it is mixed blood. Previously I mentioned two ways of the blood inside right atrium. The first way from right atrium to the right ventricle, second way from right atrium to left atrium. At the same time, when the blood in the right atrium cross foramen ovale to reach left atrium, there is little blood coming from pulmonary vein to left atrium. Blood in the left atrium goes simply to left ventricle. The blood in the left ventricle is going to get squeezed into aorta till reach descending aorta. When reach descending aorta, there is also blood coming from pulmonary artery to descending aorta through ductus arteriosus. Ductus arteriosus, it is vessels connect two major arteries, pulmonary artery with aorta, on a specific place descending aorta. Why? Why the blood in the pulmonary artery go to the aorta? Because the blood going from high pressure place to low pressure place. High pressure place here, pulmonary artery, go to low pressure here, aorta. So ductus arteriosus divert blood away from fluid-filled lung toward aorta. And this is also a reason for why little blood coming from pulmonary artery enter to the lung. Almost of the blood going back to enter ductus arteriosus after facing the resistance inside lung. Ductus arteriosus, it is the fourth adaptation that I was talking about, and I put it here in the purple box because the blood going through it mixed the blood. The blood in the aortic going through branch of the aortic to supply head, neck, and upper arm. And I won't mention here branch of aortic. I will explain it in the next video with answer question why we put pulse oximeter in the right hand of the baby. Also the blood in the aortic going down to thoracic artery, abdominal artery, and going down to the lower part of the body and going to internal iliac artery. Internal iliac has a lot of branch, Branch supply pelvic, branch supply buttock, branch supply bladder, and the important branch over here, umbilical artery. Umbilical artery, we can see it here in the umbilical cord as smile face eyes. Umbilical artery is the fifth adaptation what I was talking about it previously. And so much of blood going to umbilical artery branch. Why? We have many branch here, branch going to bladder, branch going to pelvic, branch going to genitalia. Why umbilical artery so much blood? Because placenta have very low resistance. Very low resistance in the placenta make the blood going toward placenta. And the high resistance here in the lung make the blood divert outward lung and going toward placenta because placenta has low resistance. I hope you enjoy with my video on fetal circulation. With all my respect, Makarim Al Helal.